All right,
I
we're
might be
gonna start
coming.
it.
Okay, I can wait.
Says, please wait, the meeting host will let you in. So Max, if you let me in, I think I'll be okay.
All right, you're free to proceed. The meeting has started.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody for a lovely Monday at the end of April. This is the April 26th meeting of the Parks and Shade Tree Committee. I guess I will conduct a roll call for everybody. Ms. Ritter.
Here.
Ms. Downs.
Here.
Mr. Kesmodal.
Here.
Ms. Macha. And
Here.
we have Glenn Mandelis, the city attorney, with us.
Good morning, everybody.
Also online with us is Ann Womack, the city secretary. And I think Liz Lingo is with us as well. We didn't really have any items on our agenda relating to any kind of, what's that? I don't know what that is. As far as any kind of hearings or appeals, but the one thing I did want to talk about is we've been requested by the mayor commissioners. They're doing a, I'm just going to give a little summary of what we're going to talk about. You know, they're in the process of doing a review of the tree ordinance for the city of Rehoboth, and various related committees and commissions have been asked to participate in that with, you know, to basically to provide input as they see fit, I guess, to assist them in that charge. And we have been asked by formally by the mayor to conduct to the extent, you know, provide input, and that was, you know, wasn't anything really specific, but I think this body would you know, provide valuable information to the mayor and commissioner. So what I was interested in doing was just to, you know, kind of poll everyone and to find out, because I'll just share with you his timeline, which is somewhat flexible, and he proposed basically, you know, that they expect to be, you know, doing this probably for the next 2-3 months. I'm not sure exactly when the clock started, but you know, with the kind of limited amount of time that we meet on a regular basis, you know, it might be a little bit constraining. I'm not sure, but and also wanted to, you know, discuss, you know, what it is, how and what we would do. I mean, I think we all have, you know, thoughts and ideas that we would like to propose. Do we want to just like create kind of a laundry list of items that we think should be considered? Do we want to discuss them and kind of more, you know, flesh them out, or to come up with a consensus on some of those items or not? I mean, I'm open to really any kind of suggestion, and that's, you know, primarily why I wanted to hold this meeting, just to kind of briefly discuss that. So,
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes.
Before you really go into your new business item,
Okay.
since this is a regular meeting, at the beginning of your agenda, it says correspondence and approval of minutes.
Okay, we can do that. I didn't know if we could do that out of order, and I expected we were going to do that, but I was just launching into this. But
okay, just to let you know, there was no correspondence, and there is one set of minutes to be approved.
That's correct. Okay, I'm aware of that. Okay, and thank you. So anyway, just to carry this further, you know, what your thoughts were. I was and so I guess if one of the things I was thinking of is the fact that, you know, we can potentially have, you know, a meeting in May and potentially a meeting in June, which we could certainly conduct this. But the question is, you know, we don't know yet what we're going to do with regard, you know, if we're going to have other things on the agenda and the kind of, you know, limited time we have sort of available to us. So I guess my question would be, would we consider maybe, setting, we're proposing to set a special meeting to kind of discuss this. And after I provide these materials that Susan had sent out, and then we could discuss them and maybe come up with kind of do a confab and discuss items, and then maybe package it in some kind of a report of some form, and then provide it to them within the time frame. So that's kind of what I was looking at. So your thoughts?
I just have, so basically the goal for this is to put together a package to send to them to give our thoughts.
Yeah. And I think obviously with this perspective of this, for this group and the kind of things that we have dealt with, or that the group has dealt with, certainly not me personally, because I was, just joining, and a number of us as well. But I mean, I think, I just say that, I think I'm not considering trying to just framing it within the confines of this. I mean, I think if you have ideas and comments that you think are important and, worthy of mention, that, we include it in some kind of a report. So
Which of the tree ordinances are we working with?
We have the materials I was going to send you, which I think, I don't know, did Susan at your last meeting with the Green Infrastructure Group, I don't know if she shared those materials with you. Did you get them? I'm not sure. But anyway, that was the package I was going to send along to all of us here. So, which includes kind of it's a list of, it was tree ordinance objectives. That was something that she kind of assembled, and then the Planning Commission report from August of 2014, which outlines a whole bunch of stuff, and then the law oversight proposal that was released in March of last year. So so basically just to take those documents, kind of review them, I think, and then to just to make comments about things that we think were good ideas, and like I say, it doesn't have to be limited to that, but I just thought that would be kind of a good starting point, just to kind of review those things to see what other things come to mind that we think are worthy. Sure, Rachel.
I think it would be good to actually have a chance to review those documents. I was going to mention the law oversight document, because I don't think we really ever acted on that. I know we reviewed it and provided comment on it, but I don't think we heard anything more after that. Right. So there are some suggestions in that I think will be helpful for people to see kind of the work that's been done to date, if they agree with it or not, or if they have other ideas. But there was certainly a lot of effort put into that, and we did it during a normal meeting. But if you feel like we have a lot of cases coming up, and there's a need for a special meeting, I'm fine with that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't think I got any of those documents.
No. Excuse me, Chair.
Yes.
All of the documents are available in the document center on the portal.
Okay.
I will send a link out to all the members of the Parks and Shade Tree Commission.
Very good.
Thanks, Ann.
Thank you, Ann. Okay.
Ned, you were with me last year when we reviewed. It was March 2020, right, Funky? The law oversight document.
Is that the two-page we're talking about? Is that the two-page, the one that was like 2 pages?
Yeah.
About 2 or 3. Yep.
I would like to see that one again.
Okay.
The one that the mayor or the commissioners put together back in 2014 seems to be a little bit more inclusive. I mean, there are and gives a better, to me, it gave a, I don't, it just, it felt more, it just felt that it just seemed like it was a little more understandable than the law and order, the law and oversight committee a document that they put together, the ordinance that they put together.
So we had this document in 2014 that we didn't do anything with. It's just been sitting there, or did we actually implement it? Does anyone know the history there?
It was never implemented, and it was one of those things where, I mean, I was involved in that when I was on the planning commission, and we prepared. We were given the task back then, because it was a pretty lengthy and arduous task to kind of go through and to evaluate, and we came up with a bunch of recommendations and so forth, and we provided it to the mayor and commissioners, and it's a difficult, very thorny issue, and I think they deliberated on it, and then subsequently it got passed on to another group to kind of look at and so forth. So that's kind of the history of it. But I will mention, and that was the thing, like it is still a that was then and this is now kind of the situation, because we have changed the landscape a little bit, no pun intended, but after the 2015, 17, I'm losing my mind here. When we got the zoning changes where we increased the rear setback and so forth and so on, that was not in place when we made those recommendations. So some of those recommendations, maybe, I don't want to say they don't apply, but they would be applied differently and so forth. So
right, yeah.
Right.
So and I guess that's why that's why we're kind of going through this again, another iteration and review of this.
Sure. That's fine. Yep. Well, I think we need a chance to really look at the documents and then I guess come back. Yes, right.
I was merely, trying to just establish, you think this is, something we want to do. How do we want to do it, and when do we want to do it? Kind of thing. That's really what I'm trying to achieve here. So.
Okay, just to be clear, which documents are going to be in the packet in the portal? Or all of it? Sounds like there are two different things that we need to review.
I think there are three.
There are three things that were provided to me that Anna's saying are in the packet. So it's probably just easier for her to dispense it that way. So those would be items.
But all three of them are going to be on the portal, and we'll be able to read them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm gonna make the suggestion. I mean, I think obviously you guys need to to look at them and digest them and so forth and so on. But if we wanted to kind of get back and maybe talk about it in advance of our next meeting, I don't know, is that pushing it, or do we want to just set aside our next meeting to be one that we discuss it, and if we need more time, we'll set up maybe a special meeting if we feel we need it. I mean, I guess that's really kind of what I was just trying to figure out. So
I think you should give us a few weeks to look at it and then have
absolutely,
just discussing that.
Okay.
How about
So let me just ask this: how much time do we need in advance? Is it a week, or do we need more? If we were to schedule a special meeting at some point, how much lead time do you need, Ann?
7 days.
7 days. That's not too horrendous, So, if let's say we I don't know, we want to observe the calendar here, but I'm just saying, like, let's say mid-May. I don't know, let's say how many weeks is 3 weeks from? I don't have a calendar before me, but let's say in 3 weeks' time, we can make a
May 17th.
Is that what it is? The 17th?
May 17th. Mhm.
Okay, well, that doesn't really give us enough. I'm just saying,
When
Uh,
is the next meeting? What, could we make this the schedule at the next
right,
meeting?
we
after-
could. And that probably makes sense. I think it's just in the time that we have. Why don't we just say that this will be an agenda item on our next meeting, and then, and hopefully then we can, discuss it similarly to what we're doing now, I guess. And then, if we need more time, because I think from what Stan said, he gave me like the 2-3 months. I kind of think 2 months ought to do it, so, if we feel like that we can provide this within a 2-month window, I think that's kind of what I'd like to be able to do. So,
Are there
yeah.
any applications that might come up in the May meeting?
Can you address that, Ian?
I currently do not have any that have come up for appeal. Liz may have some coming in for street trees, but we won't know that until closer to the date.
Okay.
Okay, but it doesn't sound like we may be able to spend the whole time just discussing this at the next meeting if no trees come up,
Right,
no hearings come up.
right. Or have some time to devote to it, and then I guess I'm saying at that time, we can decide if we want to set up an additional meeting in advance
Yeah.
of the June meeting. Yeah, Rachel, sure.
Does it make sense for us to read the documents and you ask us to give you comments back by a certain date, and then you can collate all of that together and we can talk about it
I can do
a
that,
little
but I
bit
still
in an
want to.
organized fashion?
Okay, but I still want to collectively talk about it, so. And the only
No,
really way
I
to-
know. I'm just,
Yeah,
it might
yeah,
just
sure.
help us move things along a little bit easier if you're trying to get this done in a couple months.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, I mean, and let me just ask, Glenn, excuse me, that in a situation like this where it's kind of, we're not really conferring, but we're passing information sort of back and forth and so on. Are there any things that we sort of have to be sensitive to with regard to that we're not really discussing, but we're just kind of accumulating or whatever?
Right, so, this comes down to being cautious not to conduct a meeting offline electronically.
Right.
So it's fine for the chairperson to send the documents, or for Ann to send the documents, and for each of you to give comments back to the chairperson individually. What you don't want to do is have 3 of you talking together about your comments and then pass that to the chairperson, because that's a serial meeting. So, but it's fine, chairperson, to individually send comments to you. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it's good to clarify that, and so I would say, what do we say? If you have comments, to pass them back to me, let's say by the 17th of May, we'll just set that, and then I can assemble something, and then if there's any additional things that come in, whatever, but I'm just saying, let's shoot for that date, and then hopefully that'll give you enough time to and that's not like a hard date, if you have any additional thoughts or whatever, you can certainly add them after that time. But I'm just saying, I guess I'm suggesting is you can review the documents by then. That's kind of what I'd like to strive for. So, okay. And then we'll set aside the next meeting for discussion on this as time permits, assuming and even conceivably if we have an appeal or whatever, it's conceivable we could, depending upon what the schedule is, we can get some of this done possibly, or potentially. Okay. Any other comments from anybody? Okay. Oh, good. I appreciate that. I didn't want to forget our minutes. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes of our last meeting? Are we
Yes.
are we prepared to make a motion to approve the minutes? Would
I
anybody
move that we approve the minutes.
Okay, and you
I'll
second?
second it.
Okay,
I'll
very good.
second.
Okay, everyone in favor of approving the minutes for the March 22nd?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
I think they're approved. Sounds good. All right, well, that's really all I had hoped to do. And it's obviously good to get together like this every month. And then, so we'll take a look at the materials that Ann's will be sending, and it's quite a saga. The the tree ordinance, and it goes back a ways. So it's an education, to say the least. So without, unless we have no other actions to take here, Ann, are we good?
There's nothing further.
There you go. All right. Well, I'm gonna call the meeting. Okay. I hope everybody has a great day today and enjoys the springy weather. Okay. So I'm gonna say goodbye. Bye.